Hey guys, Dusty Marcus here. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. It is Saturday night, and it's the night that the clocks go back and we transition from daylight savings time over to Eastern Standard Time, which is the time zone that I live in. So here's the thing. I've always had a bit of a beef about this, and I know that a lot of people are in favor, and there are a lot of people that are against. Personally, I think they need to get rid of daylight savings time because there's really no point in it as far as I'm concerned. Saskatchewan, they've never had daylight savings time, and you know what? They are all doing quite fine. So I don't see any reason why we couldn't. I know that Ontario is looking at getting rid of daylight savings time, but they're waiting for the Americans to do it because it would create a lot of confusion, especially if, let's say, you're catching a flight out of Detroit Metro and you cross the border, but there's an hour difference. It's going to be a mess. So we really need to wait for the U.S. to do it, and then we will implement it. There's a beef that I have about this, and I'm going to explain it. Say you start at 11 p.m. and you work until 7 a.m., which is your standard night shift. You're working 8 hours because 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. is 8 hours. However, if the clocks go back, you're working 9 hours. That's the long and the short of it. You don't get paid for 9 hours, you get paid for eight. And I mentioned this to a manager years ago, and he said, "Well, let's take a look at it. What time did you start?" And I said, 11. "Well, what time were you done?" 7. "Well, how many hours is that?" 8. you know, technically. But he said, "Well, there you go. You worked 8 hours." And people will justify it and they'll say, "Well, if you're working the night shift in the spring and the clocks um, move forward an hour, you are technically working 7 hours and getting paid for eight." The thing is, if you are working tonight, I will guarantee you that you're not going to be working the night shift in the spring to get your money back. That will be taken by someone who has more seniority, and they're going to say, "Well, I want to work a 7 hour shift and get paid for eight." So you don't really, it never really evens out. What are your thoughts on it? I'm very, very curious to know. We are looking at releasing an album, an EP, before the end of the year. Depending on how late it is, we may release it in early January. So I will keep you guys informed and let you guys know as this sort of moves through. We're very excited about it. It is our first EP in wow, in probably 3 years. So it's going to be out there. I know what the cover looks like already. Thanks, Rudy. And it's things are looking good. So I will keep you guys advised as to what's going on. I hope you guys enjoy your Saturday night. Enjoy your weekend. We'll catch you on the flip side.